Hey, my love. It is your good God sis, Nicole Melissa, and I am back with another journal entry. So, yesterday I left off sharing that I had been asking the Lord about what we are being deceived about because I just know that we're being deceived about something. And I know that, of course, we live in a fallen world, so we are going to be deceived by a lot of things. But I wanted to know specifically, like, what are the things that we are being deceived about? So the Lord let me know that we are deceived in the church greatly. And one of the things that we're being deceived about is Easter. What is Easter? So let's think about it. Let's talk about it. So what you're gonna see me do is I'm gonna research some things in real time as we're doing this, because that's what I would normally do. You know what I mean? If I had a question, if I'm writing something in my journal and I have a question about it, I'll look into it and then try to put the details in. And then I'll just continue on from there. But so we're gonna do this in real time. I want to understand what's the deal with Easter. Where does that even come from? I also want to understand what's with the bunnies. What's with the bunnies and what's with the eggs? Because first of all, bunnies don't have bunnies because bunnies are baby rabbits and babies don't have babies. Rabbits don't lay eggs. Rabbits give birth. So I want to understand. So let's figure this out. Let's think about it. Okay, so the English word Easter derives from the Old English Esther or Estier, which likely refers to an Anglo-Saxon goddess of spring or dawn. Recorded by the monk Bede in the 8th century, this goddess is honored in, I couldn't tell you the name, but it means April. Later adapted for the Christian festival of Christ's resurrection. You see what I'm saying? How do we know? And please, this is just, I could just be talking to myself, but on the off chance that I'm talking to you and you happen to have the answer to this, if you could leave this for me in the comments, I would really, really appreciate it. But what I want to understand is, how do we know when Yahusha was buried and resurrected? Why do we think we know the day? Where are we getting that from? You know what I mean? I have questions, and while we're talking about this, because you're gonna notice I'm gonna go into a bunch of different thoughts, because one thought leads to another thought, leads to another thought, leads to another thought, right? So my other thought is, why do we celebrate the new year in the winter? Wouldn't the new year be the beginning of something new? Spring? Do you think that maybe they call it April 1st because they are playing in our face? Why is April 1st April Fool's Day? Are they playing in our face? Because it just doesn't seem like the new year would be January 1st. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But okay, anyway, before I get carried away and start going down, we're going to talk about that. We're going to think about that. We're going to think that thought all the way through. That's another thing you're going to hear me say often, is we have to learn to think our thoughts all the way through, because some things just don't make sense. And instead of allowing people to continue to gaslight us, let us make sense of it and let us use our common sense. Common sense is still around. You've just been told not to use it. But like, I want to encourage us to use our common sense. It can't make sense for for the New Year's to start in the middle of winter. It's like, okay, maybe it's not the middle of winter, but it's like, it's winter. It doesn't make any sense to me. Make it make sense to me. It doesn't. Anyway, let's go back to Easter and this goddess. The church, I can't tell you. So I don't have much social media. Like, I have a TikTok that I don't like even try to go follow, man, because I don't post on it really, and I just go on there sometimes to see what's going on in the world. But I was on it during Easter Sunday, and I saw all these people, like these churches having this Easter egg hunt celebration with the kids, and everybody's hunting for eggs, and it's the resurrection, and like, huh? It just told us that it's a goddess. It's named after a goddess of spring or dawn. What goddess? Do you know of a goddess? I only know of the Trinity. That's it. I just know of Yahuwah, Yahusha, and the Holy Spirit. Do you know of what goddess they talking about? Explain it to me, because I don't know. You know, and we just do these things blindly without really paying attention to the fact that something is not right in Denmark, you know? Okay, so I guess my next thought is, I know why they would call it Good Friday. That makes sense, because we think of good, and well, at least biblically, when we're thinking of good, we're thinking of holy, because Jesus told us that the only thing that is good is Yah. So we think good, holy. So I get Good Friday. But what I'm a little confused about, and I would like to think about and talk about, is, where did Good Friday come from? Okay, so they've told us that Yahusha was crucified on the Good Friday, right? Yeah. And then he was resurrected on the Easter, the goddess Sunday. Okay. So where in the Bible does it talk about Good Friday? Let's look. Where in the Bible does it talk about Good Friday? Okay. So, Good Friday Bible verses. Good Friday focuses on the crucifixion, sacrifice, and suffering of Jesus Christ for the redemption of humanity. Key verses often cited include John 3:16, God's love and sacrifice, Isaiah 53:5, pierced for transgressions, 1 Peter 2:24, bearing sins on the cross, and John 19:30, Jesus' final words, "It is finished." That doesn't answer my question. Where in the Bible? Okay, now listen, I understand that. Hold that thought. Sorry about that. Where did we leave off at? Oh yes, we were talking about Good Friday and how Good Friday is nowhere to be found in the Bible. Now, I understand that, the Bible doesn't always specifically say certain things, but what it does say is that we can go to our Father and ask him for wisdom, and he will not rebuke us for asking. So he will give you the wisdom to understand the thing, right? So I'm definitely going to take this back to him because I don't understand. And we're being deceived, guys. Like it's not even biblical, really. It is biblical that he did die on the cross for humanity. That is true. All of these scriptures are facts, but they don't point to the day. Because also, so hold on. What I want to know is, let me ask another question. Why Good Friday? Let's see if we can find out why Good Friday. Where are they getting? Okay, hold on. How do we know when Easter is? Okay, Easter falls on the first Sunday after the first full moon, the Paschal full moon, occurring on or after the vernal equinox, fixed at March 21st. Okay, so we are basing it on the moon, which doesn't feel off to me because I believe that biblically that's how they measured times, days, and seasons, was by the moon. That's how I think they determined jubilees. That's how they determined festivals. So that doesn't strike me as odd. Okay, so Easter always falls between March 22nd and April 25th. It's determined by the Ecclesiastes tables, and not direct. Okay, and not a direct astronomical observation. Okay. The equinox. Church tradition fixes the vernal equinox at March 21st, even though the astronomical equinox can fall on different days. The full moon. Easter is set for the Sunday following the first ecclesiastical Paschal full moon on or after March 21st. Sunday rule. If the full moon falls on a Sunday, Easter is celebrated on the following Sunday. Okay, where do they get that at, though? Do you know what I'm saying? Can somebody tell me that Paul had written it down and said this? Can somebody tell me that Peter had said this? Can somebody even say maybe even Isaiah mentioned this, long before? You know what it is? The challenge that we have with lying is that once you tell a lie, you can forever be deemed a liar. Do you know what I mean? Now, listen, I'm not holier than thou. I think that everybody lies and everybody has lied for whatever the reasons are. It's still a sin nonetheless, but we've done it. And no buts, because, a sin's a sin's a sin. However, I feel like this is pretty massive. I feel like this is like a really bold-faced lie, and it has to benefit someone. So I guess I want to understand, who is this to benefit and why? So I don't know, guys. I don't know, Nicole. We're gonna have to dig, because I just don't want to be deceived anymore. I just don't want to be knowingly, willfully deceived. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's a way that I can get as much truth as possible, I would like that. In certain, not just, listen, in all circumstances, actually. Because I was just going to say, like, not in every, no, I want to know the truth. I want to know the truth. I don't always like the truth, but I want to know it. I'd rather know it and know what I'm really dealing with. I know what we're up against. That I know. You know, we live in Satan's paradise. So, you know, we have to assume we're being deceived. I think the worst thing that we can do is pretend that everything is peachy. I think it's harmful for us to not see the truth and not question things, because I think that we've been told that we aren't allowed to question things. Don't question anything, because if you question it, that means, like, you know, you're gonna go to hell, or if you question it, you're, you know, disobedient. Or no, I don't think that's true. I think that what I'm getting, at least for me, is that I'm getting that the Lord is having me question things. And I think that he wants me to question these things so that I can bring it to him, because he will not rebuke me for asking for his wisdom and his discernment. You know, he's given us his Holy Spirit to help us, to be our guiding right hand, and we ought to use it. It's here for us, so why not call upon him and use him and ask him to help us, because it really is his pleasure. So I don't know. We're definitely deceived about Easter. And that's just a little research. Look, you know, I'm gonna dive into this a little deeper, but you know, I'm not gonna be here for hours while I look into that, and I might not look into it all in one sitting, so like it's spread out over time. But I'm gonna look more into that, or do I even need to look into? I don't even need to look more into that. For what? It's about a goddess of April. I don't need any more. It's a wash. We're celebrating some sort of pagan holiday and slapping Jesus on it, which is just makes you want to vomit. But I am curious, though, however, to understand why. I'm curious about the new year, in winter. Why would they pick the new year in winter? Let's get into that one. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking about. That's what I'm writing about today. So yeah, that was it. That concludes my thoughts for this moment. So thank you for joining me. Again, if this is just you, Nicole, look at you, girl. Look at you. Thank you for doing this and being obedient. Okay. And if you happen to be watching this, whoever you are, and you made it this far, thanks for joining me here as we think out loud. We're going to continue to think out loud. Okay. Love you, mean it.